We're back.
Okay. All right. So, I did have Frank. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did have one question. I was looking at this afterwards, after we took a little break there. Who will be in charge of monitoring compliance on this?
Well, that we didn't really discuss that. Certainly, if there's a situation where someone calls about a sign that is obsolete or whatever, we can certainly look into it. I mean, as far as getting the information on it, right now, I don't do any inspections or anything like that throughout the town for zoning violations. So, that would need to be worked out as far as, exactly who, the board would like to do that part of it. But if it's something that is pointed out, we can certainly do some research on it and as much as we can. And, but that would be something that, the board would need to look at a little bit further as to who they would prefer to do this, that part of the enforcement.
Okay. All right. Well, at this time we will convene our regular monthly meeting. Do I have, in regard to the zoning ordinance, do I have a motion to approve the amendment?
I make
Make a motion to approve the
Do I have
amendment.
Okay, thank you, Mac. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Don. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. So the decision of the public hearing is to is approval of the amended zoning ordinance. Thank y'all for coming, starting this public hearing a little bit early. We appreciate that. In your package, you also had February regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
A motion to approve the February minutes.
I have a second.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next thing we have New Town Hall, that's still tabled. We have the nuisance ordinance. I believe Danny is here. If you have questions that you would like to ask him after review of the ordinance. Danny, I had a question under number 20, the nuisance vehicle. Now, is that different from where we have vehicles that are sitting in people's yards? The criteria is that they can be moved before anything we can do anything about them just sitting there abandoned?
I don't have the forms before me because I was unaware of the meeting till about 4 o'clock today. The nuisance usually with the vehicle is anything that is surrounding it. It can be treated as a nuisance because there could be animals living in it, tall grass around it, rodents coming from it. Usually that's what it is, or mud puddles, things like that around it. That's a little different than a junked vehicle.
Okay.
So the junk vehicle would be up under the vehicles, and the nuisance would cover anything that would be surrounding the vehicle.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were still, this wasn't on, take the place of a junk vehicle type thing. Okay,
No, and like I said, it would be treated basically, if I looked at it, I would treat it as a junk vehicle more than I would the nuisance. Because
Yeah,
I would
and
have more.
excuse me, and looking at this, I know number one, where it says 18 inches is supposed to be 12 inches. That's what our current thing is. It doesn't have anything in here about the enforcement part of it. So do you have any guidelines as far as enforcement on these?
The enforcement could run the same as your zoning unless you wanted something different. Some places will have a zoning abatement clause, and what it does, it may start off like with 4 days. Your first day is $100, your second day $250, your third $500, and their subsequent or something. And your nuisance may just be a straight, if you choose $50 a day until it's abated, or if you wanted $100 a day. So but like I said, you could use your abatement for zoning the same as you could use that for code too if you chose to. Just depends on what you wanted to do with your fines.
Is that what are you using the zoning currently for the ordinance that we do have in effect?
I have not
concerning nuisance.
I have not charged anyone, but if I did, that's the one that I would charge the fine of, because it's the only thing that's there. You don't have one stipulated under code enforcement.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for Danny? Okay. If no questions, I appreciate you joining us again tonight, Danny. And I would like to strengthen our public nuisance things. I know we have all had questions at different times about what we can do about a certain situation, and you know, and it has come up that we really didn't have anything covering that, and I think this would help cover more situations. I would like to have a public hearing on this, and I believe you will be here Thursday, so I will meet with you and get something to present for public hearing on when you're here Thursday. Okay.
That sounds good. And I want to apologize for not being prepared, but at my residence, I've not had the internet within a week. And Miss Perry called me today and asked me, and I said, well, I could be on, but I don't have any of the materials with me. So I apologize for not being prepared tonight.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you, Danny. Have a good evening.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
The next thing we have is new business, and that's concerning the 160D. We have proposals for the work for updating our development ordinance from the Council of Government. And we also have a proposal from In Focus, and I'll recognize Pam at this time to speak about these two things. These two proposals.
I don't have anything, Marcia, just what I sent out, what both of them offered. I mean, I don't know what else to speak on it about.
Okay. Do I have questions from council?
Sorry, Marcia, which part are you referencing exactly?
The 160D,
Okay,
the two bids, we had got to do the work
there we
for
go.
doing to update the town of Bunn's development
Okay.
ordinance, so we'll be in compliance with 160D. Now, do y'all have those in your packets?
Yes, ma'am.
We do.
Okay. All right. In Focus, they are who the town works with. That's who Mr. Udy that we were just talking with. He is a contractor with In Focus. So they do minimum housing and that type of work with the town. Cartar actually has been the one that does our zoning ordinance. Pam, I know you said you didn't really have any updates, but you did speak with In Focus, if I'm understood. They said that they were doing this for several towns.
Yeah, I did talk to him and she gave me a list of probably 7 or 8 towns that they're actually doing this for right now. When I had reached out to one, it was actually a good friend of mine, a clerk friend, and they were very pleased with them. But she did give me a reference of several towns that they were working on.
So we have a proposal from Cartar for not to exceed $4,500. And the services are to be provided remotely from the Henderson office with the exception of required meetings of the planning and zoning board and town board. And then In Focus, we have an option A where all the work will be done remotely. And that's $3,000. And we have an option B to update in attendance at one meeting, one on-site meeting, and that would be $3,350. If they have to attend additional meetings, that would be $350 for each additional meeting that they had to attend. This is something that we've got to do the work, so it's not an option of not selecting someone to do the work. I mean, I don't know who our other options are, but these are the two we knew about. And it's something that's mandated by the state. So I think it's got to be done maybe by July or August of 2021. So it's not, we don't want to know compliance by June 30th. So do I have a motion?
Sorry, I think I was muted. I did have a question.
Okay.
Is there a limit to the number of meetings that the Cartar COG would attend on theirs. I don't see one, but I'm just checking so we can do an apples for apples comparison.
Frank, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Yeah, we figured in, I think, 2 planning board meetings and 2 board meetings and some time with the town attorney as well, but it was a not to exceed figure. So, I mean, I think I'd have to clarify that with Ms. Cox to be sure. Michael, if you want to mention that, but I don't think we had a limit, on the meetings that we were, whatever, when we put the not to exceed price in there.
Thank you.
So would these meetings be in addition to your regular zoning meetings, or would they be in connection with your regular monthly zoning?
Mayor, we had talked about even to try to help out with the time and to get through this, and possibly doing some joint meetings with the town board where, everybody was kind of hearing the same things at both times to try to, save some time with that. So, that's certainly a possibility. And, but that's where we stood with it.
Okay. Okay, do we have any further questions since we do have Frank available? Okay. We have before you the 2 proposals. Do I have a motion? Okay, I do not have any motion for either one of them, but we can bring it back up at the next meeting. That will be cutting our time period shorter because it's got to be done by the end of June.
I would
So
make a
it's not-
motion to accept the car tar one. I apologize for interrupting. My mute is messed up on this.
Okay,
I
so I have a
second that.
motion. Second one for Cartar. Do I have any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so Cartar is who we will go with for providing an update for our zoning ordinance. Thank you. Okay, the next thing on the agenda will be.
Marshall.
Frank,
I don't know if you want to talk about the price that had gone up with the School of Government from 1,200 to 2,000.
Yes, early on when this first came out, it was 1,200, and that's what we had put in a letter. And we later researched the School of Government, and we've been following their workshops very closely. So that's how we found out about it, but it did go from 1,200 to 2,000.
okay, we appreciate that. And Ben, are you on?
Ben, you're muted if you're trying to talk. I don't know if I can unmute him.
There you go.
Okay, am I unmuted now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, Ben, did you hear where they said the legal part had gone up to $2,000?
Well, that is for review, and I would highly recommend that the Institute of Government review any final thing that we did. I think it'd be money well spent. I'm sorry it went up, but I hope Frank would agree with that.
Yes, sir, I do. I think, in order to have of course, it's just, they have done a checklist and a number of things to help a lot of communities get through this. So I think, it's certainly advisable to do this, if the board sees fit, and just to put a different set of eyes to make sure that we've covered things as we should on that.
Okay, so do I have a motion from the board to, I guess, contract with the School of Government in the amount of $2,000 to review the 160 checklist?
I make a motion to approve the $2,000 to review it.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second. Did it
Okay,
work?
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all right, well, hopefully we can get this started and have it done by the end of the fiscal year. We appreciate the bids placed by InFocus and Cartar. Thank you. Next on our agenda is reports, planning and zoning. Russ.
Yes, we actually have nothing to report because we haven't met relating to anything other than the sign ordinance which you all adopted today. So that's a very quick report with nothing to report, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Russ. Next, we have ABC Board, Rich Hen.
Rich not here, Tam.
Richard's not here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he,
Did
he sent something for a report, but he is not available right now.
Okay. Okay. Next, Tony, Public Works.
Good evening. We got the sewer plant path fixed with with concrete stone, and fixed the old cemetery path. I want to thank Don for helping us with that. We had one issue this past Friday at Warren Avenue, and pump one lost prime. Had to work on that to get it unstopped and back pumping online. All state reports are complete and turned in. We're maintenance in our lawnmowers and equipment right now, getting ready for the grass season to start up. And that's all I have.
Anybody got any questions for Tony? Okay. All right, Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
our activities for the month was incident investigations was 2. I know y'all have probably seen the individual around Bunn that's been panhandling and, you know, begging for money and asking for money. So we've basically warned him, and then we actually cited him twice on a citation, and he has continued to be a nuisance and will not listen to the establishments that trespassed him. So we actually had him arrested last week. So he was arrested. Spoke to his mother, and she's going to try to help me with this situation as well. So every time he comes in town, I'm going to contact her, hopefully to deter him from kind of coming back and you know, sitting around the establishments that he's going to and just asking for money. So, but we did arrest him, that individual. Citation, we had 2 citations written, 3 warning tickets, and 1 ordinance citation written. We did sell the Charger, so that's that's been sold and removed. And we do have the Franklin County vehicle that was donated to us. That is up and running now. We have the computer in it. I mean, it's in decent enough shape to use it until we get another vehicle, but it's running good, and the guys are running that now as well. And also, I'm sure that as I briefed the mayor about the incident that happened with Officer Cruz, just thank the Lord that nothing was happening any worse. Technically, she was not 1041, or she was not working at that time for the town of Bunn. She was en route to work. So she was working or she was coming in as an individual, you know, coming in as a civilian.
They're on the last program. I mean, the last people is talking.
So she, but she came in and, you know, she was heading to work.
I have to. I mean, how you gonna pick them up anyway?
Excuse me, Mac.
Yes.
Can you mute? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you good? Okay, thank you. Okay.
She was heading to work on her personal vehicle, and a vehicle run off the road in front of her, and she stopped to render aid for that said vehicle, and individual got out with a weapon and came towards her. So she did fire her weapon twice, and that weapon happened to be a town weapon, town Bunn. So I did go through the protocol and stuff that I needed to take for her, but other than that, there was no incidents that happened after that. So I'm just glad that she didn't get hurt as well, but she fired twice and she missed the individual twice. But thank the Lord that wasn't worse than it was. I know last time we voted on a Dodge Ram vehicle. Well, there's just none out there. I've gone to probably 3 or 4 car dealerships that deals with police vehicles, and they just cannot find any. I spoke to an individual today, and he just has started ordering today, and it will be between 5 and 6 months before the Dodge Ram even gets here. But I put in the packet, he has a Dodge Durango on the ground where he's at right now. And since then, he actually sent me another quote this afternoon. Titus. He sent me another quote this afternoon for a V6 all-wheel drive. If you notice, this is a 5.6 Hemi. Market price is $40,000. Sale price is $31,000. Well, he sent me another quote for a 2020 white Dodge Durango V6 all-wheel drive. And if you're looking at that quote, the difference will be the market price will be $37,210, but the sale price will be $28,188. So the out the door, the net price would be $34,396 for the V6 all-wheel drive compared to the $36,672 5.7 Hemi. I mean, for us, the V6 all-wheel drive is all we need. So I know you have the quote in front of you about a Durango with the 5.7, but I think the 34,000, it saves a little over $2,000 for the vehicle. But I'd go with the three. I mean, I'd recommend the 3.6, V6 all-wheel drive Durango. And if he gets that, he says we can have that vehicle probably within a month because he's got it on the lot right now. What it is, he had 2 vehicles and somebody backed out from buying them, so that's how he's got them. Other than that, I can't find a Durango. I can't find a lot of these companies that's building them had been shut down for COVID, so it'll be at least 5 to 6 months if I try to stay with the Dodge Ram. So I say we'll go ahead and get if it's, if y'all agree with it, the Dodge Durango Pursuit all-wheel drive V6 for the $34,396 on the vehicle. And then last I have is the grant management agreement. I spoke to this young lady. She's basically a retired police officer from, I think, Burlington or Greensboro. And she does this on her side part-time, but she goes out there and looks for any grant. And she likes to help small towns. Where at the last Chiefs meeting, there was some money going, there was some federal money out there, $24,000, and Lake Rail got it, several other cities got it as well, which I wasn't aware of it, which I talked about a little bit more about, sharing and communication on that part. But she said I could have found you this and got you this. So if you see the contract, what she does is she applies for any grant out there that she thinks that will meet our needs. If we don't get the grant, it don't cost us nothing. She just wipes it out. So she does all the legwork applying for the grant, and if we don't get it, she just coughs it up. But if she does get it, it's just 10%. It's what she charges. So the one for $24,000 equipment grant that just come out, basically she would get $2,400 on that particular grant. It's just there's a lot of free money out there. I just don't have access to a lot of the ways to get it, and she does because she was a grant writer. I just think it'd be a good thing to at least sign into a contract with her to let her just try to find us as much free money, federal money as we can. She said there's several grants coming up. There's a COPS grant coming up. Actually spoke to the sheriff about that. He's going to try to apply for that one as well. So, that's my last thing is she went ahead and made us out a little grant management agreement. And then you see some of the procedures that's got to go along with it. But other than that, that's all I have. I know I threw a lot at you at one time, but that's what I have tonight.
Okay. So Steve, I know we had approved for that Dodge Ram truck. It looks like the estimate you got is pretty close to what we had approved for that Durango. I mean, for the truck, this Durango is pretty close to that as far as expense. But since we had met last, the county did give us that Durango. Do we actually need to purchase one now?
Oh yeah, that vehicle's got over 160,000 miles on it. I mean, that's one. I think that's one that we can use, but I don't think it's going to last if you put it out there every single day and let thing run for 12 hours a day for 4 or 5 days or 7 days a week. I don't think it'll last. If you put it out there like that vehicle's not. I think it's made. We got it for a spare and use it for a spare. Like if one goes down or one goes in the shop or Lord help, we wreck another vehicle or something. It's a perfect vehicle to use for that situation. But to put it out there every single day, I mean, I don't see it. I think in the long run, we're going to go back through like we did with the Charger. We're not going to realize, and you're going to have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 in maintenance on it. That's going to start occurring because vehicle, 160,000 mile vehicle is not going to last. But if you put it out there every single day, I don't think.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve purchase of this, well, excuse me, to approve the Dodge Durango purchase?
Make a motion to approve the Dodge Durango all-wheel drive V6 vehicle.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Steve, I have in front that grant management agreement also. Ben, did you have the opportunity to look at this grant management agreement? I'm sorry, Ben, are you still there?
He's still here, but I think he's muted.
Okay, can you unmute him, Pam?
Oh, I think he's coming.
Here he comes.
Okay.
Um,
Did Ben have a chance to see this grant management agreement?
I think I sent it to him as well. Ben, can you unmute? There you go. No, you don't.
Are you sure he's showing still on? Because
Okay.
he fell off mine.
Hello.
Hello. Hey,
I'm here.
Ben. Steve was talking with us about the a grant management agreement. I didn't know if you had a copy of it or had a chance to review it.
I have not. I think Pam has sent it to me, but I was out of town this weekend and Friday, so I'm not sure that when she sent it. But anyway, I have not looked at it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. But okay. So since Ben has not had a chance to review this, I would prefer that he review it and we bring it back up at our April meeting, and give him a chance to look at it and if he has further questions on it. No comments.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Steve.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we move on, Steve, in the meantime, can you get some references from her? I'm sure she has a list of references or something, but.
Oh yeah, that's how I got it. I think Lake Royale uses her. Town of Youngsville has been using her. Several smaller towns they use her as well. We talked in general for a long time the other day on the phone, and she just says that was one of her passions to continue the grant process, and she don't even want to deal with big cities and big towns. She says I just deal with small towns. And she said, that's what I like doing. And I said, well, that's exactly what we are. So, and what I liked about it is if she applies for the grant and, she does all the legwork, all the paperwork, paper trail, she does everything. So when she applies for it and we don't get the grant, it don't cost us nothing. She just washes that one out on her time. But if we do get the grant, regardless of how much it is, it's just whether it's small amount or the one that I missed was the equipment grant was $24,000. Basically she just gets 10%. That's what she does.
Does she do, as far as once the grant is if you do receive it, does she do the accounting paperwork part of that?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes, that's the 10% part. She will manage the grant for us too, while it's like, if it's a 2-year grant, she will manage that grant for us for that 10% as well. And she understands that, budget restraints and time. She said, even if we get a grant and it's in January, February, or March, and we can't pay our part until the next the next budget of June or July, she says, I understand that part. She said, this ain't my bread and butter right here. I just do this on the side. She says, so I'm willing to work with y'all to get the
Hey,
money,
honey.
my part. Now, that was a big plus for me.
Okay, and you said she's worked with Lake Royale and Youngsville and
Not right now.
Yes.
who else?
Yeah, she had told me a bunch. That's how I got her name. When the Lake Royale police chief gave it to me, and he just he got awarded the $30,000 or $24,000.
You're on camera.
Uh,
Just take it out of the room.
but
Okay.
I think what I had a question about, and that's why I was thinking we could check with her references, is number 6 on here. If she's just going after every grant, there might be some that the conditions of the grant would be something we wouldn't want. That's why I was curious how that actually worked out in reality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And she's not going to go out there and go after a grant without asking me first, though. So she ain't gonna be out there like calling me up saying, I've got you a grant. And here she's always gonna let me know first, hey, this is some money I found that you might be interested in. And she's gonna let me look at it first. And then after I look at it and say, yeah, I think it's a good thing, that's when she goes after it and tries to find it. So yeah, she don't just on her own try to find the stuff and then don't let us know until after the fact.
Perfect. Or better, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we will give Ben a chance to look at this agreement, and then we will discuss it at our April meeting. Thank you. Okay. All right. Nicole, do you have any? Well, excuse me, Pam, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Nicole?
No, that was all.
Okay. Don?
No.
Okay. Mac?
No.
Okay. Is Sherry on? I don't hear Sherry.
No, she's not.
Okay, we just wanted to send our condolences to Sherry. Her grandfather passed away last night, so we want to remember her and her family during this time. I appreciate all of you coming out tonight. Hopefully we're getting closer to being able to have live meetings, in-person live meetings, and not have to go through this Zoom. Maybe, starting to warm back up, and hopefully with people getting vaccines, we can start at meeting back in live meetings again. Do I have a motion to dismiss?
I'll make a
motion.
motion to this.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, and we will have a public hearing scheduled next month also for the nuisance to review.
Who
Passage of the
seconded?
nuisance.
I know Don made the motion. Who seconded the
I
adjourn?
seconded.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. All right, y'all have a good month. Stay healthy. Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Aye. Pam. Pam,
Hey,
I was just talking away on her.
yeah, you was talking away, and I was trying to hit the button to tell you to hush.
Hey, it wasn't, yes, I had answered the phone and I thought I was muted, but I looked
No,
up there. I sure won't.
You said the last people is talking right now. How you think you gonna do that? Bye, Bonnie.
We'll talk to you.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye, Mike.
You all right? Pam, when they gonna open back up the town hall?
Let me see. I don't know. When you want to open up?
I don't know. That's what, because these people been worrying me to death about. They've been asking, when is the town hall gonna get up? Why they can't put a splash guard up there?
Well, why do they want to come in so damn bad? They paid it on time.
I don't know. You know how folks feel.
Is it just Caney? Caney want to come in?
Get out.